Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? De nuevo un gusto estar con ustedes. Vamos a traer el video de Stuart Surlow. Ya hemos traído videos de este excelente autor, investigador e insider que estuvo 13 años dentro del proyecto Montauk. Imagínense nada más, en el corazón de la bestia, en Long Island, en el proyecto Montauk, que bueno, un verdadero testimonio viviente de lo que ocurre dentro del corazón de la élite Illuminati, Stuart Surlow, que nos va a hablar de las luchas alienígenas, de la agenda extraterrestre, de lo que está ocurriendo con la raza reptoide y otras cuestiones a través del tablero. Esta es la primera parte. La segunda parte vendrá en otra entrega después de otro video del libro de Nuevo Orden Mundial Alien. Pero bueno, espero que disfruten este impresionante video del gran Stuart Surlow. Y traeremos más de Surlow más adelante también, así como de otros autores, como ustedes ya lo saben. Recuerden amigos, este es nuestro Patreon. Pueden acceder desde $1 al mes al contenido extra que estamos subiendo para ustedes. Y bueno, tenemos artículos y videos impresionantes en este portal, que realmente es maravilloso porque nos permite estar en la resistencia si nos llegan a apagar la luz, como ya lo han hecho en las redes sociales tradicionales. Les agradezco mucho, espero que disfruten este video y me den su retroalimentación positiva al respecto de el análisis y sobre todo de la información de Stuart Surlow. Que pasen un excelente día.
It's a very big topic, and really, to begin with, they've always been here. This planet was colonized by those from elsewhere. And in fact, human beings are alien to this planet. Yeah. We are hybrid beings, a combination of reptilian and mammalian. Mm-hmm. And so that's why the environment is hostile to us here, because we're not from here. Mm-hmm. But yes, government, when I say government, you know, there's a global government already. Mm-hmm. And plus it has the breakdowns into the different EU, North America, Asia, all of this. And there are just, at this point, a limited number of species that they interact with, because there are literally millions of species.
Yeah. You say they control the countries, the nations, every country, or are there rogue nations that they can't control?
No, every single
even
country.
North Korea or whatever.
North Korea is a setup. It's make-believe. You know, it's not a real country.
They when they want, they can start a war and say he's not.
Yeah, it's just another puppet that they can pull the strings.
Everything is under control of the Illuminatis. Is that true, or are there something they can't control?
Well, I will tell you this, that even now within the Illuminati there are factions which are working both with them and against them. And plus there are factions outside of the Illuminati, both from here and from not here, that are working for and against people. And it's quite a mess. It's quite a complicated situation. So it's not like one side against another side. There are many, many sides. And not only from this physical world, but from other worlds and from other universes as well.
And other dimensions, so somebody could be here and I couldn't see him?
Yes, it's like you have a radio, and as soon as you turn the dial, different frequency, different station, different information. So even in this room, you could have millions of frequencies. If you tune into them, you could perceive them.
I've heard they can do it actually technically, and there are soldiers who have a box or something, and they can turn a knob and then they're not there.
And that was an outgrowth of Montauk technology.
And you have worked there.
Yes. I'm not happy.
No, I'm not taking that against you.
I won't put on my resume for anything, but yes, I worked there.
How long? And
13 years.
Mm-hmm. And now that you talk about it, I mean, isn't that dangerous?
No. You know, it's not like any other situation that was in the past, even from World War II, for example. If you participated in that so many years later, it's over and done. Yes, there are still implications, and things are being done now based on what happened then. But it is what it is, and we have to move on from it and change things.
Okay, so now the American government, but it's only a faction of all these, the big picture. I have heard they have connections to the little greys, and what is it? I mean, do the Illuminati family have connections to reptilians, to Draco, or I've heard the Rothschilds have certain shares and they have guest chairs with a hole for the tail of some high-ranking guys.
Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration.
Okay.
But I can tell you that all human beings on this planet have some percentage of reptilian genetics. That's why we have reptilian brainstem, we have skin that wrinkles and peels, we have a reptilian lymphatic system, and so on. We are part reptilian. That's just how we were created. I wrote about it in my Blue Blood book and my True World History book. But yes, the Illuminati claim direct descendancy from a higher level. They have a higher percentage of reptilian genetics, and they practice a form of reptilian religion where they worship lower astral entities and invoke them during these sexual magic rituals.
Yeah, and they're drinking blood to keep the...
Yes, well, the ones that have a 50-50 split in genetics of reptilian mammalian, they can shapeshift. And in order to hold their human form, they must ingest human hormones or organs and blood, this kind of thing, and that's why they have the blood rituals.
And but that's only one part of the blood rituals, I think. Is it the negative energy that feeds some entities from somewhere and
yes,
gives them energy?
The beings in the lower astral, the demonic entities, whatever you want to call them, they feed on fear, anxiety, hate, negative emotions. They feed on this. And so they control the humans that are in power to create such situations so that the population lives in fear. Also, the Nazis found out when you keep a person in extreme fear, it opens the crown chakra and the pineal chakra to allow programming to be downloaded into the mind. But also just to what you said earlier about the alien agendas, yes? There are some aliens on this world that have an agenda maybe a bit to the side of what the Illuminati have planned. And so there's a bit of a rivalry going on, and there are issues happening.
Of course, it's complicated and it's hard to really understand everything of that, because it's also that the Earth, I heard from your interviews and from other people, is not solid but hollow, and there are caves and tunnels throughout the crust of the Earth. Correct. And there are beings living there. And I've heard from other people that there are reptilian beings inside the Earth. And the question, of course, for us would be: are they? What's their intentions? Are they fighting us? Are they? Do they want to control us? Or are there also different factions, and the one might be on our side and the other might be on another side and want to destroy us? Or?
Well, that's a very good question, because when the original reptilians came here, in the moon, which the moon is a vehicle, not natural, and they colonized the largest continent at that time, which was Lemuria, which is what is now the Pacific Ocean area. They had an agenda from their home world to colonize worlds, to assimilate populations, so that the reptilian empire, or the Draco Empire, would eventually incorporate that world into their empire. However, because of the war between Atlantis and Lemuria, and Lemuria was destroyed, these survivors had to go inside the Earth. And so from them eventually came the Illuminati and the hybridization. But now there is actually a war, almost, if you will, between the 100% reptilians inside the Earth and the hybrid Illuminati on the surface of the Earth. Because the ones inside are waiting for the purebreds to come back and take this world. But the Illuminati have an agenda to create a new empire with the Earth as its capital, and to replace the Draco Empire. So this is a problem So the reptilians inside the Earth have created a situation now which is threatening the Illuminati from outside, which is a whole nother story.
We will come to that later, I hope. There's a lot of things we will come to.